Well, we have major confirmation on a major death in Attack on Titan, which I've been under the assumption for a while now that this particular character, and if you don't want to be spoiled, if you're an anime only and you have no idea what's going on, then I highly recommend you hightail it out of here, because we're going to be talking about spoilers of a death of a major character that is very prevalent in the anime and whatnot. So yeah, there's your warning. Ymir, seemingly confirmed to be dead. Now, I definitely at some given point, which I'm sure they will showcase it, I want a flashback to see exactly how it was that she went down. I was under the assumption, to be honest with you, that the Beast Titan was the one that ate her, and that's how she pretty much, died, so to speak. But I thought if the Beast Titan ate her, then he would immediately have her powers, and it almost seemed as though he did eat her, because there was a character design change for the Beast Titan, and it kind of looked a little bit like Ymir's powers, like the dragon talon looking things that, the nails, the sharp nails that Ymir had, and then the black eyes. I was like, oh, so the Ape Titan ate her. But this chapter kind of says a different story, because the dude, which it was pretty detailed and a little bit confusing, I could definitely see some people not understanding it, but seemingly the dude that Ymir ate to obtain those powers, apparently his brother now has Ymir's powers, which essentially confirms, one, Ymir is dead, two, that's where her powers went to begin with, and it wasn't the Beast Titan. Now you could argue maybe the Beast Titan eating her killed her, but he didn't absorb her powers, and her powers was born into another person, because we know it's been established that if a Titan user or a Titan shifter dies and their powers aren't absorbed by another Titan, then they're immediately born into another child that's nearby, an Eldian or whatnot. So if that's the case, then it would be, a random child that got the powers or something like that. But that doesn't seem to be what's going on here, because again, the brother of the dude that Ymir took's powers now has it. So I'm guessing they brought her over there, because it seems as though with the Marley people, they like to continue and they want to continue having these Titan powers and strong and credible soldiers that can get the job done, essentially. So it seems as though they brought her over there, had her eaten by this dude, and that's how he got the powers. It kind of seems, because this chapter and these past few chapters is showing us the flip side, and what I really appreciate about these chapters is giving that gray area, and I've mentioned this, I believe, in my past couple of reviews as well, where we've thought up until this point, seeing it from the eyes of our characters, yo, these are the good people, the people that we've been rocking with, Eren, all of them, these are the good people, the people on Paradise Island, they're good. The bad people are Marley, but we're seeing the opposite side of the coin from here, and that the Marley aren't really mustache twirlers. I mean, they are vicious. We've seen what some of their people are capable of and how they were torturing people and throwing them down. So yeah, they're not the nicest people, but we've also seen corruption amongst our crew as well, or at the very least, the higher ups on Paradise Island. So you can't necessarily say that one group is completely good and one group is completely bad, because the Marley, they're fighting a war and they're trying as well to stay around. You know what I'm saying? Because this chapter was confirming what the last chapter was kind of pushing forth. The era of Titans ruling is coming to an end. Humanity has created many different weapons that are capable of fighting the Titans and not just completely having them, demolish things. So it was interesting to see them go that route, and again, establish that Marley aren't completely bad, and to their eyes, they think they're the good ones, and that, the people on Paradise Island, they just need to give up what they stole from them to begin with. Real quickly, I love it, and I hope a lot of people caught it. Mads Mikkelsen, or Mikkelsen, I don't know how you pronounce it, but the dude that plays Hannibal in the TV series, or played Hannibal in the TV series that was a couple years ago, it finished. I was so happy to see that. That was a clear inspiration for one of the people of the Marley. Like, you could totally see that design. I was like, yo, one of my favorite actors, you're putting him in Attack on Titan? I see you, I see you. I thought that was really freaking cool, to be honest with you, that they incorporated him. And something that he said kind of caught my eye, because honestly, and I want to see what you guys think about this, it seems as though the number of Titans is kind of messy right now. We don't necessarily know. A lot of people are saying, no, it's confirmed. We know exactly which ones are the 9 Titans. Eren has 2 powers, and then a lot of people have a list, but some people are saying that no, because Eren has 2 powers, that there's a Titan missing, or because one of the Titans, I believe they say that Ymir was the dancing Titan or the dancer Titan, something like that, that there's still one Titan power that's missing. But even if, let's just say, we have completely everything mapped out, because again, it does seem a little bit, not necessarily convoluted, but there's so much information to gather in that it's kind of hard to really establish what do we have set forth. But for all intents and purposes, let's just say, nah, we know all 9 Titans, who has the powers, where they're at, and whatnot. I still believe because of one line in this chapter, we're going to see a new type of Titan, whether it's the original Titan, although people say that Eren has that power, but whatever the case may be, I think we're going to see one more Titan shifter, and I truly believe it's going to be one that has wings, because when they were talking, and the guy that looks like Mad McKilson, he said something along the lines of, man, what if we could just get a Titan with wings? That made me think like, I wonder if that's foreshadowing. I wonder if Marley is working on artificially creating Titan shifters. Even though there's only 9, you know, it's been established that there's 9 that can do that, and then the rest are regular Titans. What about if they're starting to engineer things? Because we do know it was confirmed in this chapter, which I think it was kind of toyed around with and we had an idea, but it seems as though it's been confirmation that the Ackermen, like Mikasa and Levi, they're artificially engineered as well, those people, and that's why they're incredible fighters. And you even seen Zeke in this chapter, or Zek, whatever you want to call him. I think it's actually supposed to be pronounced Zeke, you know, the Beast Titan, the guy himself. He was like, I don't ever want to go up against those people again. And then we had confirmation. So that's probably why people like Mikasa and Levi, even though I liked it better before it kind of turned into more of a sci-fi thing, when it was just like, oh, the Asians, they're just strong ass people. I thought that was more simple and realistic than turning it into their bioengineered creatures. And it's like, hey, that's cool too, but personally I was more enjoying the fact that this last race, the Asian people, they're really sick as fuck, they're cool ass fighters. So I thought that was a nice little neat thing that they kind of turned into, like, oh, we're going more in the, you know, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, from Naruto to Naruto Shippuden, where it's like from simplicity and more realism and just, you know, basics to, oh, superpowers, crazy shit. So it's kind of like a give and take. Maybe some people like it, some people won't like it. I thought it was cool. I personally enjoyed the concept and idea of it just being the Asians, they're cool as shit, they're dope as shit, why not? And we also know now that Zeke has 1 year left to live, and he wants to go out in a blaze of glory, and he wants to take on and finish up getting the Titans from Paradise or Paradise Island, and he wants to essentially reclaim his glory and his name. And he really has these people trusting him, the Marley, and I wouldn't be surprised if, to a certain degree, Zeke has his own motives and he's not necessarily completely riding with the Marley. I mean, we know that to a certain degree, you gotta think he's a scumbag. He sold out his parents. He's responsible for a lot of people dying and shit like that. And on top of that, him being the Beast Titan, we've seen what he's done and what he's capable of. But a part of me, there was a couple of panels in this chapter that really was pushing forth, maybe there's more to this guy. Maybe it's not all cut and dry. He's a piece of shit traitor. Call it a day. Maybe there's a purpose that he has. Maybe he just wants to obtain all the Titan powers himself. Maybe he wants to eradicate the world of Titans in general. I feel as though there's more to Zeke than meets the eye, and that's kind of what I gathered from Zeke in this chapter. Also, we got a little bit of Reiner and just how insane. Reiner is fucked in the head. If you didn't already know that from him kind of like warping his mind from being I'm a warrior to just trying to be a good guy, this chapter pushes even forth. He was emulating one of the people that died for him, and that's why he was acting like, yo, I'll take care of you and helping people out. Like, Reiner is toasted in the mind. And then when that guy was like basically saying, yo, I don't want that girl to get Titan powers and die quick. And he's like, oh, so you're talking down on the Titan powers? Yeah, you're about to die. I was like, Reiner, you're fucked in the head, bro. You're crazy. So this chapter was introducing a couple more elements. It was cool to see that one. I believe the stretcher Titan, the cart Titan that was carrying shit, I think it's that female, because she said, oh, I haven't been in my human form for months, and that's one of the Titans, I believe, that we haven't really seen who their person is. So I'm assuming that that's who that was. That was kind of interesting to see. She looks like a cool character. I definitely want to get more into her. And these chapters of Attack on Titan, especially this one, it almost makes it feel like we're reading a seinen series and not a shonen series. Now, if you don't know, seinen is meant for older demographics. Shonen is meant for like a younger demographic. Like shonen, for example, would be, you know, Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, stuff like that. Seinen is Tokyo Ghoul. And it feels as though Titan was going that route with the seinen aspect. We're getting more details, more complexities to these characters, more gray areas, so to speak, and overall exploring morality, because a lot of it has to do with, again, Marley don't feel like, or they personally don't have the idea that they're the bad guys. And then of course likewise with Paradise Island. So I like that concept that was pushed more in this chapter. And I mean, as a whole, I felt as though this chapter was definitely pushing forth quite a few different things, and I thought it was okay. I do want to get back to our crew because I feel as though they're pushing a little bit too much of us seeing the Marley and these people is cool, and I'm imagining that we're going to get a lot more, and maybe it'll make us feel more sympathetic towards these characters because now we're starting to get introduced to them, especially that one female that wants to take on the the Armor Titan powers, so maybe we'll actually care about them more, and that's why Isayama's doing this. But I do want to get back to our cast already. It's been months upon months. I believe, what, 90 or 91 was the last time we seen them. I want to see what they're up to, what they look like now, since it's been several years, even after the time skip. And chapter as a whole, I felt as though it was very solid, a little bit convoluted and a little bit too detailed, but nevertheless, it was still pretty damn good and getting us more information about the Titan world. Zeke, 1 year to live, and that's why he really wants to make up for what he's done, you know, the blunder that he had many years ago. Reiner, his clock is ticking as well, and he's just batshit crazy. And I guess one other thing that I want to quickly mention is Annie. It seems as though they really are betting that Annie is probably working with them. I mean, it's been, what, 4 years since even that time skip? Maybe Annie fell out of her crystallization form, and now she's also working with them, because if that's the case, we have a team and a half. We got Eren with the 2 Titan powers, even though one of them he doesn't really have access to. Then we also have the Colossal Titan inside of Armin, and then if we got the female Titan with Annie, that'd be great, but only time will tell. So I want to say I'd give it the solid 8, maybe even 8.5. I really like that Titan is getting very detailed, and again, feeling almost like a seinen. I wasn't really fond of them making the Ackerman seem even more unrealistic and more sci-fi than they were before. It was very cool when it was just like, the Asians, the last race, they're fucking dope, and now it's kind of like, But I'm kind of curious what you guys thought about this chapter of Attack on Titan. How do you feel about focusing in more on the Marley and their struggles and whatnot? Because again, these people, they're struggling. They want to win, and they want to be, you know, in the right, and they feel like they're in the right. How do you feel about that? Are you missing our favorite characters, our main characters, you know, the main cast? What do you think about Zek's 1 year to live? And just as a whole, how are you feeling about Attack on Titan the past few months, considering we're focusing in on other characters that we never really knew? And what do you guys think about the theory that we are going to get a winged Titan? How you feel about that? Because a winged Titan, those walls ain't stopping shit. It's flying right over there, and we're gonna have one hell of a battle. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.